Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com TDL for 35% off. And of course, what we're doing here, guys, is we are doing free agency this week. We're doing, of course, it's the weekday. We do free agency. The weekends we do the draft. So we're doing getting a little deeper dive into the free agency. I'm doing Baker Mayfield today. So because I mean, it was either him or I guess I could have did James Conner. Maybe next week. I got to save myself because on offense, there's just not a lot for me to do. Let's keep it real. Yeah. I would have been like doing Dan Feeney or somebody, somebody really bad. So, yeah, it just works out this way that we're doing some Baker Mayfield and Leonard Williams, correct?
Yeah, Leonard Williams. Yeah.
All right.
A few D tackles to look at this in free agency. So,
yeah. I mean, you still got Matabuke, man. You still haven't done a Matabuke episode.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do a Matabuke one. I've been reading that he's probably going to get tagged. Yeah. And if anything, I do Patrick Queen, who might become available if Matabuke does get tagged. But I don't know. We'll see. Franchise tag window's open now, so maybe we'll get some news. Let's get some more clarity in the next few days. But
yeah, and then Baker Mayfield put his price out there, so that's going to be interesting to see what his exact price is going to be. At the 22, I mean, he said I guess like 75 million is what he's looking for. So, I mean, it's kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo money there. I don't know. I mean, you would hope so. I mean, hopefully it's not this huge kind of deal he gets, but we'll be super interested to see what he does there. And yeah, man.
I mean, $25 million for a starting quarterback nowadays, that's a veteran. I mean, that's just the going rate. That's the price you got to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't bad at all for that type of price. So, I mean, it will be interesting to see what they do with that. And, that's why I kind of wanted to go into him and check out that breakdown and see what he's got going. And, I mean, it was pretty good. It just looked like Baker Mayfield. A lot of the things that, are his quirks were still there. I mean, he's been in the league so long. It's been a type of situation where, he just kind of looks the same. But I thought he looked a little bit better. He looks a little bit more mature and a little bit more older than he did. So there's still a lot of the big time throws downfield. But then, of course, there's just a lot of Baker Mayfield stuff. He takes some sacks, and it's just not consistent from him. So that's why he's not really a top 10 quarterback. So you can see that. But I mean, is he an effective quarterback? Is he better than Jimmy Garoppolo? Yes. Like if you paid him $23 million, I wouldn't be too mad about that. I'd be okay. Hey, all right, we could work with that, right? Jimmy Garoppolo's like, whoa, he's a backup. What are you doing? But Baker Mayfield at least as a starter, at least,
Yeah, and not falling apart injury wise.
Yeah, 100%.
A few years younger, right? Baker's only what, like 27, 28?
Yeah. He's still young, man.
He's still pretty young.
He's like 28. Is really not that high up there in age. And the Bucks might bring him back. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they have a chance to franchise tag him too, as well, I believe. So
it's got to be that number's got to be what, like 35, 40 million nowadays. Now, I mean, you can sell me on Baker Mayfield at 25 being, again, like what I was saying before, almost a discount, not a discount for him, but like a cheap price for a quarterback, but 35 to 40. Now we're pushing a little bit for good old Baker.
Yeah, you're pushing a lot, actually, when you get to 35, 40. I mean, when he said 75 million, I was like, oh, okay, man. Hey, you're not that expensive. I mean, that's a good deal, I think, for him, because I think that's what he is. I mean, he's like a high-end spot starter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's an elite spot starter.
An elite spot starter. I like it.
Like, there's high level, there's levels to everything here, man. You got elite starters, you know what I mean? Then you got good starters, and you got,
I feel like he's a starting quarterback who you're willing to give like veteran money because he's good enough, but like not willing to like cash strap yourselves. Like you're not going to give him a Patrick Mahomes contract where you can't pay anyone else, or like you have to choose between having a good defense and having wide receivers who can catch the ball. But he's also like good enough that you want to keep him around. That you again for that $25 million price tag, which now is probably middle of the road for a starting quarterback. Like that works. That works for me for Baker. So curious to see how the film was.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited to see that. You watched Leonard Williams, so you talked about Leonard Williams a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so with Leonard Williams, I kind of walked away a little bit more impressed than I thought I'd be. I kind of just assumed that he'd regress a little bit, just kind of getting up there. I think he's going to be 38 sometime soon. So I was kind of thinking that maybe he wouldn't be quite the same player. But I tell you what, man, I walked away pretty damn impressed, especially with him against the run. As a pass rusher, we'll see a few clips here too. Like he just doesn't have the juice that a guy like Chris Jones has that we watched last week, and he's not as athletic as Jones is, nor is he as quick. But I do like a lot of what he does. Like he has like a lot of veteran tricks, I'll say. We'll see a little bit of them where like, hey, you can sniff out screens pretty well. He always has a good pass rush plan, throwing a lot of counters off of his bull rush, and two, has really good block recognition against the run. So those are things that like really stood out. Is like he's still this like physical dude who's a decent athlete. He's not bad by any means, but just not great or elite type of guy. But like a little bit of so he's just kind of combining that where he's got the strength, got a little bit of the movement skills, and now too he's also got like a little bit of the tricks of the trade where you're like, this is a pretty damn good player. And I mean, we'll get into it a little bit. Like obviously, like I said, Chris Jones gives you the sexiness, gives you the pass rush upside that can pretty much wipe away anything that he does against the run. But as far as like a complete player, like Leonard Williams is the more complete defensive tackle. Again, it's just that pass rush upside with Chris Jones that you get, and that type of production you're not going to quite get with Leonard Williams, but still can be effective in that area. So
yeah. I mean, definitely excited to see Leonard Williams. How about we do this? You just get to the film first, check out what you got on Leonard Williams, and let's do it. Yeah, we're good.
Sweet. All right, so we're gonna start with a couple screens, which I know aren't the sexiest plays out there, but again, to me, kind of shows a little bit of what Leonard Williams is doing now that he's in his old age at the age of 30, as I say, as someone who's 30 turning 31. But like what you'll see here a little bit too is like he gets a pass set from the center, but for some reason, like whatever, he kind of like recognizes that the center is just kind of taking it easy and ends up stiffing up the screen, doesn't get too far upfield. I mean, against a guy like Christian McCaffrey, when you're 300 plus pounds, that's a pretty nice open field tackle too, to go get a TFL. So again, we'll kind of see that again here against the Eagles. Similar type of a rep here. Going to get a pass set initially by, I believe that's, Landon Dickerson. And then two, like kind of just feels Dickerson push off of him and stop pass walking him. And same thing. I mean, he just reads it, knows what's up, and finds the ball. Finds and go make another TFL. So again, nothing too sexy there, but plays that end up making a big difference in the end result and what you really like to see. Moving on to some a few pass rush clips. Admittedly, this one's probably the least impressive of the bunch because they're running a little stunt here. But this is a little bit of what I'm talking about where he's got decent movement skills. Is he Chris Jones, who's super quick and kind of a freak for his size? No. But I mean, you'll see here on the stunt, it's a good job too of him. Back this up a little bit. Of working up the field and selling the vertical to get, I think that's Banks, the right guard there or the left guard, for the 49ers to commit to him and would be free up. And then two, got a little athleticism to spin back to the outside and go get a quarterback hit here. Like, I mean, Trent Williams isn't even figuring it out until it's too late. So nice little play there as the looper on that line game. This is a little bit of what I was talking about too with his bull rush. We're going to see him go up against former Raider John Feliciano on this rep, and uses the stunt well to get himself to square on Feliciano, giving himself that two-way go. Right, you can go inside, go outside. And the other thing too is this is a great angle of it. Like you can see, he's got his helmet under Feliciano's. Now Feliciano's punch is wide, but obviously we can't see Leonard Williams' hands because he's got him inside, and ends up winning to the insides here too. Now, this is, again, a little bit, I hate to keep comparing him to Chris Jones, but that's just the other guy that we've watched that's on the table. Like last week, we saw Jones get in a similar position, right? And he flipped his hips and was able to get a clean win.
Mhm.
That's not something I don't think Leonard Williams is in his game at this point in his career. And that's why he doesn't get this clean win here. But at the end of the day, flushes Brock Purdy out of the pocket and does his job as a pass rusher. Also, nice play by Diggs there to get the little force out.
Yeah.
Similar rep here, just lined up at nose. Again, going to get to square initially. Now, he tries the bull rush, but you might notice, I think it's Jake Brendel, that's his name, the center for the 49ers. Does a pretty good job right there of knocking Leonard's hands down. But, and this is what I'm talking about with his pass rush plan. For one, he keeps his feet moving through contact so that Brendel is still on his heels. And then once he gets to this position here, like you can see a little bit right where that the 6 in Brendel is, you can see Leonard Williams' arm to kind of hump him by and then go get another quarterback hit. Fortunately, ball gets out and it doesn't matter. But again, see a little bit of the nuance that I was talking about at the beginning. Last rep in that was the last one. Moving on to a few plays against the run, get a little mid zone here. Now, again, he's responsible, I'm pretty sure, for the B gap here. So he's going to cheat a little bit and work into the A gap, but part of it is the way he recognizes it, or the way he gets away with it is he recognizes that he's getting the combo block. So this guy's working up to the second level, ends up beating him with the swim move and getting penetration to force this bad angle from the center and forcing McCaffrey to cut it back and cut it inside and back into the teeth of the defense. This time, this one's probably my favorite rep of the bunch right here. So this time, again, he's going to be on the backside of a little counter run here. Again, we see the block recognition. Like, this is hard to do because he's lined up as a 3 technique over the guard. So his primary focus off the snap is the guard. But once he sees that guard pull, look where his eyes are at now. Hands are coming up, and we're taking on the center. And that's where the brute strength comes in. I mean, jeez. Like,
good Lord. It's the monster,
pushes him past the guard and closes. I mean, obviously 90 helps here. I think that's Jaron Reed. But ends up closing the front side gap from the backside and tying up Juszczyk so that Juszczyk can't get on his block. Oh, and then on top of it, McCaffrey's going to cut back and he's going to go make the TFL. Dude's disruptive, man.
Yeah. This is a good tape, man, for sure.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, against the run, again, I think he's a little bit better than Chris Jones is right now. A little bit more of a complete player. It's just not quite as athletic. Now, I like this play design by Kyle Shanahan, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because this is counter, right? But they're having the offensive line run block like it's a mid zone or an outside zone, right? All working in unison. And then they just have the 2 pullers. And then you can see McCaffrey never even really looks to the B gap, looks to cut it backside immediately. So to back this up a little bit, and the reason why I explained that is, had this been outside zone, this is textbook setting the edge, right? He's got perfect extension, using one arm to get extra room and create more space between him and the offensive lineman. If McCaffrey's trying to run through this B gap, he's got to cut it back no matter what. Now, the A+ effort here is get a nice little arm over to escape the block, and he still ends up making the play. A few yards down the field, but we'll take that every time when my backside 3 technique can go make a play on the other side of counter. 2 times we've seen him do that now, too. This time, he's going to be on the front side. Again, he's supposed to be getting a combo block from Kelsey here in the right guard, but he wins at the point of attack against the guard that there's nothing Kelsey can do, right? Kelsey at this point, like, he can't help him because there's not enough to block for him, and he's beat the man he's lined up across from. So Kelsey ends up bailing and just going up to the second level. And once Williams recognizes that, again, that nice little arm over move to get off the block, and ends up making the tackle on Hurts yard or 2 past the line of scrimmage. It's impressive stuff, man.
It's impressive.
It is. All right. Our last rep here. Again, going to get another combo block. And boom, beat the man you're lined up across from. This is perfect. It's so bad that Lane Johnson just kind of tries to do what Jason Kelsey did on that last rep we just watched, where he's just like, screw it, I want to work up the second level. And the guard, I mean, I don't know if he just is like trying to save himself on film or what, but he ends up not blocking Williams either and kind of giving up on it and starting to work up to the second level.
Yeah.
And the entire time, we got Leonard Williams going from pressure to no pressure right here, coming to balance, and end up making another TFL. So that's what I'm talking about, man. Like little vet moves to recognize the blocking schemes, and two, like the strength and power is still there too to be able to make those plays. So I don't know. Pretty damn impressed with the dude who, even at 30 years old, like the Raiders want a defensive tackle that can make plays against the run and contribute as a pass rusher, and then two, sniff out screens. Like, you got yourself a guy. We know Leonard Williams from his days in the that 2015 draft is a Raiders fan. So who knows? Maybe he'll want to come over too. So
yeah, and I think the Patrick Graham connection with him is big. I think he had some of his best years of his career, and his best production on film was with Patrick Graham. It was not something that he, Patrick Graham found unique ways to use him, moved him around a lot, played him at defensive end sometimes, played him at tackle. And I think if you bring him in, right, with Tyree Wilson and Malcolm Kuntz and Max Crosby, and he'll be a little bit cheaper. He'd probably be like 18 to 20 million, probably Javon Hargrave money, which I'm probably thinking, but Javon Hargrave was 4 years, 98 million, which is probably what the Raiders will be spending when it comes to Leonard Williams, because that's the type of money that he's going to demand. I think he's good as player as Javon Hargrave is. So that's the type of money he's going to demand. Maybe the Seahawks decide to try to keep him too. I don't think they're going to franchise tag him, no, but that is a huge option for the Raiders. I think that would be a huge signing. That would get me super excited for this defense to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I think as far as the franchise tag go, I was reading up on it before this a little bit. Like, he's definitely a candidate to get tagged. The problem is the Giants tagged him twice already. So if he gets tagged a third time, I think it's like 144% raise or something like that on his next salary. Like, that's how much they have to pay him. So what I've been reading is because of that, the Seahawks are not going to franchise tag him, because that's obviously a ton of money. He's making like 20 million. So I'm not smart enough to do the math on that, but obviously that quite a bit of chunk of change that you're getting for only a 1 year player. So there's a good chance he hits the open market.
Okay. Yeah. Cause that'd be a good look for the Raiders. I really believe that. I think when the Raiders can upgrade that defensive tackle position, like I said, if they could do that type of thing, they could trade up, man. If they can get like Leonard Williams or something like that, I feel like a lot more comfortable with them being trade up candidates and making that gamble, because you have that type of player in there that you can, keep for a couple of years and, have that type of impact on the defense when you have like Max Crosby as a corner piece. And, if you make Malcolm Kuntz takes off, you have the option to franchise tag him too. So if you can't get a deal done. So I think those, it's pretty good, man. I really like that. I like that film, bro, a lot, especially playing up front, man. Patrick Graham is going to try to definitely get him in here. All right, so let's get into some Baker Mayfield. All right, so we're going over Baker Mayfield today. So, Baker had a lot of impressive throws on film. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of impressive things like this one right here. He's going to show some good anticipation on this one. Kind of see how early he throws his ball. Kind of see if we're better from the other side, but it's right on the money. Much one more time here. Quick release. He has a really quick release. Very natural throwing motion. Pretty good. His mechanics aren't bad. There's a little bit of heel clicking there every once in a while, but he's pretty clean type of player. You see that right there. Quick release. Get that ball out. Kind of go back a little bit, show that anticipation here. And I see how early he's throwing that football. See, he's right there, that tight end. Ball's out. On time.
Leverage and size mismatch.
Yeah, he balled against the Eagles. He went off. So here's another one. It's really how you see his quick release on this one. Like, he doesn't even take a step. I really like this type of motion off play action. Boom. Set his feet right to the target. Lots of yak. Accurate pass right on the money. So that's why he can run the RPO game, those type of things. See this? Get his feet set, pointing at the target on the money. Let me see it from this side. Just a right there, quick release. Consistent. He's consistent with these type of throws. There's another one. Guy dropped it, but you gotta. There's like 5 drops versus the Eagles. It's crazy, and they still kick their ass. All right. Here's this what like this I'm talking about, the quick release. He sees it quick. He sees the opening. It's a good read by him. They're in cover 3. He reads that super fast. He sees that seam wide open. Boom. But he can't catch the football. All right, and this is one of the first coverage. This throw is crazy here. This is a nuts throw. They're down late in this game. He's just trying to make a play, and that throw is beautiful, right on the money. We'll see it go. Flip it back here. See, it just throws it back shoulder here, like a little bit. Stop here. Boom. That ball. There's really not a lot of room for this ball here.
No,
you know, he shouldn't be throwing this football. I'm gonna do that.
I was gonna say that was pretty risky. You're throwing into the triangle there.
Yeah, which is kind of foreshadowing for a little bit later in this. But you see the placement of this football. He throws it back shoulder because he knows it's a crazy throw. Boom, right there. It's a great throw. But that's late in the game. They need that. They need that play. So that just kind of shows his guts a little bit there. Here's a play action. Here's a little kind of dagger concept type of thing there. Everything's just clean, on time. Definitely looks a lot better than he used to. I'm gonna say that. He looks a lot better. Like, yeah, I mean, I still think you would want to draft somebody behind him, but I think there's some things to like here. You know,
it's amazing what a year with Sean McVay will do, or half a year with Sean McVay will do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. See, this one, I'm going to show him being short on this one, how he's kind of adapted to playing in the NFL, being a shorter quarterback. You see, this is the play versus the Eagles where they just – it's just embarrassing. This is just embarrassing to watch. It's this team giving up. That's called play for a paycheck. Go ahead.
I was going to say the nuts thing, too, is like the check down is very open, like wide open for a run for an easy first down.
Or a touchdown, the way these guys are tackling this game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very true.
It's so embarrassing, man. This is just it's like they're playing like Lafayette State or something. That's what it looks like. But you'll see here on this one how he finds the passing lane, right? So he's a shorter quarterback. See that the lane that he finds is a quick slide there. So take it back a little bit here. See the slide there, find the lane, find the pass lane so he can see. Boom. And it ends up being a touchdown when it really shouldn't have been, but it's just so funny. It's like the 2013 Raiders, man. That's what it looked like. All right. And then you see like the quick passing game is there too. I already showed that kind of his quick release, how he can get some of these passes off here. Quick release, boom. And then, of course, bad tackling. And this is a touchdown, too, guys. This is a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. We are watching the Eagles quit live right in front of our faces.
I don't know how he didn't get fired for that type of play, bro. I don't know. And then you see, like, he can make plays, too, with his arm. He can get out of the pocket, make some plays there. It's a nice sort of Mike Evans, avoiding pressure here. Keeping his eyes downfield, finding Mike Evans. So he did play a lot better. I mean, he definitely has grown as a quarterback. Definitely tell you he's matured as he's got older. I mean, that's what happens with a lot of quarterbacks. You see here on this one, this is a deep ball, I believe, that ends up being dropped here. So play action. See him going deep here to Mike Evans. So he's aggressive, 2 downfield, ends up being dropped, but that's a dime.
There's another one with good anticipation, too.
Yeah. So that's a dime from him. And then this one was a special throw really late in the half against the Lions. Very clutch throw right here to Mike Evans right into a tight window. I mean, he hasn't really won, but that's a beautiful placement on that throw. It's just a dime. So there's a I mean, there's a lot to like with Baker Mayfield. Like he definitely deserves $23 million. I'll just say that. Jimmy Garoppolo money is what he deserves for sure. I mean, probably not more than that, but yeah. And that's not that bad. I feel like this Geno Smith money, you have enough for a quarterback. It's kind of veteran quarterback money at this point. Yeah. All right. Now let's get into one more deep throw. We'll give you one more deep throw because I have this one in the seam right here. Just another dime in the seam. But we got to get into the ugly stuff. We're gonna get into the ugly here. One of them is just decision making. I think is just his problem. And you saw it with the cover 2 throw, and then he's kind of just staring this one down. Yeah. You can talk about how he really can't see it, right? And he probably couldn't see this linebacker. I'm sure backside, which I tell you, I my short quarterback hatred, for that backside. But you kind of can see some of the things that that cause a problem with him just because of his height. So here too is just sometimes he just tries to make too much of a play or just doesn't see a linebacker and he throws it into traffic in the middle of the field. And this happens a lot. I think he has a 20 interception season, right? I think in 2019 he threw 20 interceptions, but you kind of see it here, right? You kind of get blocked off when when you're a little short quarterback, you lose this linebacker here. So then you slide, you find your passing lane, but then that linebacker comes right back. Boom, pick. Because you lost it. Big play for the Eagles, but they didn't make it. All right, see this in this one. Sometimes he's just gonna take some sacks, man. And he's a fighter. He's not gonna give up. That's what I say to Baker Mayfield. He doesn't give up in the pocket. He's a fighter. But this is wide open, man. Just throw this right there. You see that quick release book that he's had. You see him make that throw, this whole breakdown. I don't know why he didn't make it. Instead, they take a sack.
He wanted the home run to Evans.
Yeah. I think this is Jalen Carter. So if you hate Tyree Wilson, don't watch this.
No, that's not Carter. That's Milton Williams.
Okay. All right. And see, and this is what I'm talking about. He's a fighter because we'll go back to this one on this concept here. Right. Check that. Rashad White's wide open, man. Throw it to Rashad White. Throw it to White. White makes a lot of guys miss. I mean, this is first down too, by the way.
Even the other one, I mean, not going to be great, but
it's not a sack, right? But he's the fighter. You see him fighting for the first down. He's gonna fight. It's toughness and all that stuff, and I like it, but just check it down, dog. You know what I mean? You got Rashad White in that type of space too, with that much space. You got pressure. Just check it down. I don't know what he was trying to do here. Let's get past this one. So, and then talk about accuracy a little bit here. Because he has his opening. You see this opening here against the coverage. This looks like just quarters. It looks like a little bit. So, and it's there, but then he throws it high, and then Mike Evans can't bring it in, and then it's intercepted. So, accuracy is just not there. He's Baker Mayfield. Just keep it real. He's Baker Mayfield. And he has to throw this ball high, probably because of this hand, right? He has to throw this ball a little higher than he wants to. So it's height, man. I'm telling you. And then it's just Mike Evans. I don't know why. I feel like Mike Evans had it in the air like it was volleyball. I don't know what he's trying to do there.
Setting up the spike.
Something. I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Looked like Baker kind of rushed that throw a little bit too.
Yeah. And you see here is, sometimes it's not consistent accuracy. So you see a lot of dimes, but every single throw down and down is just not the most consistent accuracy. It's kind of the same motion he had on some of those deep balls, and he just sailed it. It's a little tight of a window throw, but you need to get that up and down a little quicker. Because that's what I'm saying. Mechanically, he's not bad, man. Everything looks good. It's just there's no touch on this, not enough touch, and then he just lasered it over his head. So these are the type of consistent things you see, like this one. I think this is a miscommunication, but it's just these type of throws, man. He's just missing people, going over people's heads. Boom. I don't know. Maybe it's miscommunication. See, I'm just being a hater here. But that
I don't know. That never was open either.
Not Baker Mayfield there, but you kind of can see, like, is he an NFL starting quarterback? Yes. Do you want him starting for foreseeable future for a long time? Probably not. So that's the thing. I mean, I think you can make the playoffs with him. I mean, you can do some things and maybe hold off and let it, if you want to draft, or like he'll give you a little bit more options to trade up, I believe. But I think you can work it out that way, where maybe if you pay him that. But I don't even know if he's on the Raiders' radar right now. But he's just out there, and I'm running out of guys to do, right, guys? I'm gonna be honest with you. So I mean, next week probably might be Kirk Cousins. I might have to do Kirk next week. So I'm running out of options here. So yeah. So if they go that route, though, I think it does make him a little bit flexible in the draft to go trade up, because I think he can throw the ball to Devontae. He can throw the ball to Jacoby Myers. He can throw the ball to Michael Mayer. Those type of things are there, but there's just some limitations that are just going to happen. So,
yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, like I feel like the biggest thing, or my biggest issue with Baker, and it's kind of always been, like even going back to his Oklahoma days, is he loves playing hero ball. Like, and I feel like that was a lot of like what you're talking about, and like he's just, quite frankly, he's not good enough. He's not like that kind of a player to be able to get away with it. Like there were some throws that he was making, I'm like, he thinks he's Josh Allen there, that can just rip it in there and fit it in that throw, like the one with the linebackers. And like, and again, maybe it's that he can't see it. But yeah, there are a lot of instances where like he's going to sit there and say, I need to go into superhero mode. And he's just not a superhero. Like, that kind of mode.
Yeah. Cause I mean, the cover 2 throw to Goodwin, or Godwin, that was a crazy throw, but it was a stupid throw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was stupid, but it was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a throw you can make against the Lions corners, but not going to be against every single team. We saw Jalen Johnson do something similar and pick that off without and I mean that corner didn't even fake driving on the short route. So
yeah, he just went right to it, man. So yeah, I mean, but that's a lot of Baker Mayfield, his game. I mean that really is him at this point. I mean, he's really not going to get any better when you're this much of a veteran. You know what I mean? Only thing you can get better at is maybe seeing different, but he's seen every coverage in the NFL. I mean, he's been in the NFL 7 years. It's really not going to be a change from the way he plays. You just got to know what you want and then kind of build around his skill set. But because you didn't see a lot of short passes, not a lot of slants they run. It was a lot of deep passes, very vertical. But that's what Luke Getsy does too. So that's why he could be a fit. But he can do the short passing game. It's just. I don't know. I feel like he's playing.
You have to force him to do it. Like you know what I mean? Like you have to be like, this is where the ball is going. Like throw it here, kind of deal. You can't, if you give him reads, he's going to take the deep shot every single time.
Exactly. Just like the short pass is like, that's a first down. But no, let me try to hit Mike Evans here on the post route, and he takes a sack. And it's, it's 2nd and 19. It's not a good look, right? And especially when you're trying to consistently win football games. So, but that's Baker Mayfield, guys. Anything else, Matt? Any other thoughts? Nothing there, pretty much.
Not really. I mean, got the combine coming up, so we'll get a little more draft content. Be hitting the checking out some defensive linemen for sure, and then I know I'm gonna be sticking around for the quarterbacks, watching those guys throw and whatnot, and reporting back for you guys. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. So I'm getting there Thursday. I'm actually getting there Thursday at 6:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna be like going to the press conferences. It'll be fun. So I ain't got a hotel. I get a check in nowhere. I'm like, you can leave my bags right here. I'm going right to the press conference. So so I'll be there Thursday checking out. I think you said D-line's Thursday, right? And then it's quarterbacks Friday.
D-line works out Thursday. Quarterbacks work out Saturday, so they're on the podiums on Friday.
Okay. All right, so I'll get, we'll get the quarterback coverage going for you guys because that's what you guys want here. We want the quarterbacks. So we'll get all the coverage there, talking, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, all are going to be there, all going to be speaking, all going to be talking. So that's why it's dope about the combine. We all get to see them, all get to hear them, and everybody's there. So it's going to be a dope event. And then, we'll be out there. We'll probably do a show for the draft, getting ready for that this weekend. And, guys, hit the subscribe button right here. Subscribe. Peace.
That's it.